Okay, hello there you guys, your girl Eunice here. And so I want to come to you guys back with another talk video. I think that the keys to happiness was a really good video, and I really enjoyed doing that video, and I think a lot of you guys enjoyed it as well. So I want to come and kind of like spin off of that in a way.
Have you subscribed? If not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise it won't hurt. And make sure to go follow me on Instagram at Euniycemari.
And there was one point in that video where I talked about how certain things in your past can contribute to you not being happy, and you have to kind of deal with those issues and let them go. So I wanted to zone in on that, and I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to get over things that happened in your past, whether it's abuse or parents not being around or death or any of those type of things. How can you get over those issues and move forward in your life and have happiness? That can be a key component to why you are not happy, etc., etc. All right, so the first thing I want to say, okay, so recognizing the problem. Okay, so let's say, for example, maybe your parents were in your life when you were younger, and maybe you feel some type of way about that. Maybe you're upset because they weren't around. They were, whatever reason, not able to take care of you, and into other things in life, addictions, whatever the case may be, they weren't in your life. And the first thing I would say is to realize, to think about that, feel it, feel it. Okay, they weren't in my life. Like, feel it, like, don't deny it, don't put it off, don't, feel it, because you have to feel it to accept it, right? So feel it, acknowledge it. Okay, that's what it is. All right, I guess we can speak from my own personal experience, okay? Because my parents were not in my life growing up. They weren't. They were in and out of my life. They weren't a steady part of my life. And so growing up as a child, it was kind of like you're trying to figure out, in a way. Like, you kind of have those questions like, why aren't they in my life? What's going on? Why? And a lot of times people try to shelter you from certain things, and so you don't have those answers. And for yourself, you can really be confused as a kid because you see other children with their parents, but there's this hush hush behind why your parents aren't around for whatever reason. And I get it. People don't want children knowing certain things, and they shelter them from certain things. I got that. Well, now as an adult, I got that. But as a kid, you're kind of like, what? I don't get it. The next thing I would say is have some closure for yourself. And maybe you're at that point now where you're 20 something, or you're 18, or you're 16, whatever the case may be, and you're at that point where you are starting to ask questions about certain things. Get closure for yourself. Me and my mother, okay, I got closure with my mother when I was about, how old was I? Was I about, like, I think I was like 18 or so. And I had so much anger towards her and so much upset towards her because she was not in my life. I'm not gonna say she was not in my life, but she was in and out of my life, and she wasn't a consistent mother in my life. And I had so much, like, upset. I'm just so upset with her. And the day she came to me and she actually apologized to me for the fact that she was not a mother. And that, to me, closed that anger for me, and I shut it down, and I kind of was like, okay, she came and she apologized, and that just made me let that part of it go. And so from that point on, when she apologized, I let it go. I didn't have any anger towards her anymore, and that was my closure. As in, she realized that she messed up, and that's all she came and she apologized, and what else could you ask for if somebody owns up to their own wrongs, right? So that was my closure for it. And so my thing is this: go get answers. If you can, go ask questions, get answers, and then it's going to come to a point where you may not get an answer. Therefore, you yourself is going to have to take it upon taking care of yourself and let it go. There are other questions, and there are things that haven't been answered as far as, like, things with my father. And so it go. My father has passed on, and so has my mother has passed as well. And there are certain things that are just not going to be answered, and I can't sit around and go, well, what if this? And well, what if that? That's going to drive you crazy. So let it go. It is what it is. I take care of my life now as an adult. You know, you move on in life. So number one, acknowledge whatever it is that is causing your unhappiness. Acknowledge it. Number two, try to get some closure. Ask questions. And if you can't get closure, then you have to take it upon yourself to let it go. Which is going to go into the next one of taking it upon yourself to let it go or to deal with it. This one is a hard one because people cope differently with things, and I cannot say that this tip that I'm about to give you is something that is going to be well-rounded for everyone. I can't say that because even in my own family, my own friends, my own experiences, I've seen that people just deal with stuff differently. And I can tell you, oh, you know, let it go, let it go, let it go. You have to take that in and take that answer and just let it go and move on in life. But not everybody's the same, and each day is different. How people process things is different. So I'm just going to give you my experience with it. So you have your situation, and now you have to deal with how you feel. And like I said, writing down things are very good. Writing them down and just sorting them out. Sorting out what you feel, how you feel. I personally kept a journal. Growing up, writing was my thing. I loved to write. It was the best way for me to get my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions out on paper, and it made me feel really, really good. So find an outlet, either if it's drawing, writing, sculpting, whatever. Find a way to kind of get all your emotions and how you feel out in some type of form or fashion. Positive form or fashion, nothing negative. We don't need no drinkers, alcoholic, drug addicts, abusers, sex addicts, none of that. But put it into something creative, something that's good, that is going to benefit you in a massive way. So I guess the next coping, dealing with those feelings, find a way to cope with those feelings and deal with those feelings. Is that the way to say it? That's a hard, see that now I come into a road bump of my own with this video that you just kind of learn some stuff about yourself. But anyways, I say a lot of times I could have been a crackhead out in the streets. Could have been my road, but I chose not that route. I chose, I don't want to be a substance abuser, or I don't want to be somebody who is a pity party or just holding on to anger or sadness for the rest of my life. Like I said in the Keys to Happiness, that video, I really just want to be happy in life and really take control over my life. And that's the next thing. The next tip is take control over your life, because in the end, when you're older, you're ultimately, no, you're not ultimately, you are in control of your life and the steps that you take to make it better or to make it worse. Each day you wake up, you make a choice. You either make a choice to repeat the same thing you did yesterday, or make a different day for yourself, or cry about what happened, or get up and do something about it, or you make a decision. And I think so many people fail to realize that your life is in your hands, okay? You have that power over your life. You have that power. And so many times people allow what has happened in the past, they allow other people to have power over their life and dictate their happiness, dictate how they live their life, dictate what they do. And you guys have to understand, like I said, it all starts in the mind. You have the power over your life. Like, yo, you have the power each and every day. What you do, how you get up, where you step, that is your decision. And I really want to close this video out with really zoning and powering in on that in part, is that you have the key. Growing up as a child, you don't have a lot of power, because what your parents say go, or what your guardian says go. You may not get a lot of answers, you may not get a lot of whatever it is that you need. But as life goes on and you get into adulthood, that is where you are able to actually get a grip on your life, get a grip on answers, get a grip and have control over what your outcome is, okay? Some people get lost in this world. They get lost, and some people just are not able to get a grip on their life. And you wonder why you have people who turn into drugs, or they turn into bad habits and things because they just are so spun out of control that they just don't know sense of direction or which way to go or what to do. You can take my upbringing and take somebody else's upbringing and we could have had the same upbringing, right? No parents in the household. You know, we have lost for answers, certain things that happen in our life, kind of the same. And then this person became an addict and they became in the streets, prostitute, just in the mix of that world, lost. And then you had somebody like me who didn't decide to go that way. I decided to, you know, work my ass off, have a better life, get my own business, reach for the fucking stars. Like, my life is going to be more. But, and then you always go, well, why is that? Why two people who have the same, why did they branch off into two different, completely different routes? Okay, I had to do that, sorry. But, try to be serious, Eunice. But, I always had that question. And it's because people process things different. People don't have the same mindset. People are different. Different vibrations, different draws, you know. Something happened that came in and it just pulled that person into that direction, and something came in and I saw something and I pulled it. It's all about perspective and the way people see stuff. And it's different for everybody. Not everybody's the same. You get what I'm saying? And it's like somebody, you can constantly try to help them, but they don't see it themselves, so they're not going to be able to get it. They're not going to be able to draw that in for themselves because they don't see it. You see it. But no matter how many times you tell somebody something, they don't see it because their mind just doesn't see it. They just don't get it that way. Have you guys ever had somebody like that? You try to constantly tell them something like, yo, you need to do this, and they're like, or yo, you need to stop doing this, stop engaging with this person. They're tearing you apart, but they're blinded. They don't see it themselves. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to thumbs up this video. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I promise it won't hurt. If you guys have any comments, concerns, ideas, any video ideas about any topics like this, leave them down below. And yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.